Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we play another game. E4, E5, just simple chess, knight F3, knight C6. And now that we have reached the 1600 mark, which is a very decent mark, I will actually be showcasing what I actually would play in let's say an open tournament, even though I'm just a very inexperienced player. And my option of choice is to go F5 here, counter-striking in the center, asking questions to white instead of the usual knight of six and a6 shenanigans where we head into theory where white has prepared 7,000 lines of theory. I don't want any of that. I want this. F5, the best move on the board next to b4 and g4 or g5 and b5. And already on move 3, you already notice that our opponent is taking time, which means he's out of theory. He is out of theory. And that's really great. It doesn't even matter if he doesn't move where with I if what I know, We're both out of theory. We can actually play chess. I have reached puberty. My God. Why is my voice so high? So yeah, now we're just gonna wait. And he plays the best move, which is d3. Then the best move is here to take. But since I know he's out of theory, so I'm gonna play knight f6. Keeping the tension for now, even though I know this is not the best move. And I will show you guys later why this is not the best move. But our opponent is not really sure where he has landed himself in and goes for castles. And I don't know either where I'm at. So obviously you're probably wondering, is this not a threat? And I say yes, it is a threat. But we get a lot of play usually by it, but I don't know in this lines if you still get it playing. But usually you go for a sort of Italian setup. I say usually because I'm unsure at the moment. So let's play bishop c5. We are eyeing down this, so this pawn is now pinned. Must there be an undefended piece on g3? And we attack it, we could take it. Right. And our opponent continues to think. The time format is 10 plus 5, so we still have to play really decent moves to, you know, survive. And after knight c3, there are loads of threats. So I'm thinking about castling, and after this, that would actually be very annoying. So if you take here, you take back with the pawn, and then I get into, you know, a normal line where I can play this and maybe bishop g4, hitting the knight. He can do the same, but I don't think that's bad. But the reason I'm hesitating to do this is because of the knight. If the knight takes e4, I'm struggling. I'm struggling if I should dare just play d5, strike in the center, but then after takes, we don't really have a place to well, we should cast long. You know what? We're gonna do it. We just hope he doesn't take with knight, but even if he takes with knight, we go here, he takes here, and we take back, and this pawn is defended. So now that if he does this, it should be good. It should be good. But he goes for that instead. And now we can solidify this pawn by playing d6. We can also just castle first. Let's play d6. Now the bishop is no longer undefended. Must we If we actually castled in this position, no, okay. I thought maybe we would walk into queen d5 check, but obviously the knight is guarding it, and the knight cannot be stopped in one move for being on f6. Was the bishop already here? Then it would be a different story than after takes. Let's say takes, then this capture, then this checks would result in capturing the bishop on c5. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of ghosts, and he goes indeed for the recommended bishop g5, intending knight d5, intending to take here and stuff, especially and stuff. You could just castle in this position, by the way. But we can also play knight g5 ourselves. For knight d5, you go knight here. We can't because the bishop is here. Yeah, I'm confusing some lines here. Ooh, maybe it's better to play this without tearing. So if you castle, you have knight d5. I see. But knight d5, let's say we play here. I have no clue what to do here, honestly. Castles, knight d5. King h8. If it takes. Oh, he wouldn't take. And after castles and king h8. So what I'm thinking is castles. If it goes knight d5, go king h8. Because now if he takes, you take back, he has to go back. My king is already here. It's safe. The knight cannot intrude. And we play the rook on f8 to g8, and we attack here. That's. I think that's what we gotta see. We just castle. We just castle. I'm expecting this. Notice that we cannot take the pawn due to bishop takes on d8. The pin is very much alive. Yeah, so knight d5. So let's double check. King h8. Bishop takes. Pawn takes. The knight is still there, but we intend to play bishop g4 and knight d4 in those positions. And then we can go c3. We can even go here, knight e7. But let's go king h8. Also, if knight takes in here, even better. I think bishop takes is probably somewhat more accurate. Yeah, and our opponent is thinking. And king h8, I'm pretty sure is the best move here. And I think, on my own, I would have not come up with this, but I think I remember this somewhere in my prep. Somewhere deep in my prep, there was a king h8. And having that as a candidate move, because you look through the lines, and you're not never really sure in which line you get into, but you know what candidate moves there are. We have to evaluate them. Like in this position, we evaluated to play bishop g5, g4, because that is a viable move in some positions. But after knight here, we actually get into some trouble because the whole idea of bishop g4 was to go knight d4. We cannot go knight d4, so you know we have to castle first. But castling walks into this, and here I had a lot of candidate moves as well, h6, but that would just walk into this, and we have a naked king. So yeah, king h8. Opponents again taking his time to think, which is good, But Yeah, he takes. We just take back. And our attention is now, I think, to play g8, eyeing down this. What we have to be careful about is, yeah, a lot of things, but this also. So now we can go here. Knight d4 is, it feels like a no-brainer to me because we are threatening c6. We have a knight very well placed, which could just remaneuver to e6. Must the time be dire? And we are opening. Well, no, that's actually everything that the move does. Also, it stops knight f5 because we can just take. So I'm really happy with this move. And afterwards comes c6. The king away his good knight. And positionally, this just very sound. This is a very sound. Oh my god. It's yeah, it's very sound in my eyes. So yeah, chess is a mix of no-brainer moves like intuition, logic, calculation, positioning, which is kind of, logic and intuition combined. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. All sorts of stuff. Your opponent getting low on time because we now have 2/3. He has now 2/3 of what we have, which is very considerable under the 10-minute mark. Even with increment, it's very hard to play. And our opponent's taking some time to think. And again, I know there is, I have played, uh, I've looked at engine lines where knight d4 was possible, and this just was a situation where this is really good. Bishop g4 again was a candidate move in my head, but it's literally pointless to do it in this position, right? Yeah. So yeah. So use the engine wisely, use it for candidate moves, I guess. And now I feel like c6, another no-brainer move, which just kicks away the knights, turn less active square, but not sure about that one actually. Not sure about that one. Not sure about that one. Because after we play 6x, knight e3, it's tending to go f4, and now he has a very strong stronghold over that one. If we go f5 here, takes. Actually, two pieces are defending it and two attacking, so after take, take, we're actually down a piece. A rook, actually. A full rook. But obviously, he cannot take with the pawn, he has to take with the knight. And after knight takes, pawn takes, we're still down some material. The knight here is actually not doing anything yet. And yeah, it's very hard to come up with something here, actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yo, yo, yo. We can also go for the very calm bishop e6, intending to take the knight. Just intending to take the knight. After the pawn takes, we can push the pawn and we get a glorious center. This seems like the way to go. Anything better? Well, there's also queen e8, a very common mover. So you tend to go to h5 or g6. But in this position, this is very much guarded by the other pieces. So let's go bishop e6, developing another piece, very logical move, trying to complete development and intending to just take the good knight, because the knight on e3 is also just very good. And if he goes back on his own volition, he probably should, but this is less forceful. He just thinks, ah, I get a bishop for a knight, and this would just force him to go there. So I think bishop e6 is slightly better than c6, even though c6 just kicks away the knights. Bishop e6 tries to get rid of the knight entirely. And his idea is probably to play c3 as well, which is actually quite bothersome because I don't know where the knight goes. Oh wow. Oh wow. So queen here, intending to go with this check, which is a very solid move. And we have to stop that. And now I feel like the time has come for us to play Queen e8. Queen e8 stops this check because we can just take. And after take, the pin is gone, with the queen. So we can retake. It's the only move that makes sense. Otherwise, we have to go back and everything feels very awkward. Yeah. And I realize I blundered. I should have taken here maybe first. I realize I'm just stupid. After queen takes, we blunder the pawn. And if you take with this one, we blunder the rooks. Yeah, it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. But yeah, queen h5. What a move. What a move. He doesn't see it. Still wants to play it. Now, because he hasn't traded it, there is also a psychological trick where you don't want to allow what your opponent is offering you, right? But in this case, what I offered him was just a great thing, right? So after we take, he's threatening mate because we can stop this with this. And after takes, everything's fine. So it looks very bad. It might even be very bad. But um, yeah. Again, oh, he's still threatening to take here. I don't have really any threats yet. We could play c6, yes, but then still here. So we have to take, unfortunately, because this was way too strong. He could have even played it there. And now he's threatening mates. I don't see any other move other than pushing this one, honestly. I think I'm actually in very dire circumstances at the moment. Because I have to resort to only moves now already. So this could be very dire. Could be very, very dire. This pawn on d5 is annoying because now knight doesn't have a good retreating square. So yeah, there's a lot of things to find solutions for black in this position. Our opponent has played some incredible sequence of moves. We are getting stumped, but we're trying to hold on. c3, e4, takes. Ooh, our knight is trapped here. Because after c3, yeah, he plays it. d4, if take, he takes from there. He takes there as well. Yeah. So we have to go here, but after here, we are absolutely trashed. Also, you could just take there. Yeah. What to do? Ah, maybe we should have gone here instead. Just immediately taking this. We went for the slow approach, unfortunately. Yeah. So now we're down. Whatever, we're down, and yeah, life goes on. Life goes on. Right? At least life goes on. Sort of. You take. If it goes here, we go here. Nah, then he takes here. Yeah. Opponent again, getting quite low on time. But we have to try to stay resilient in this position. He just takes. Whoa. I did not expect. If he played a4 in that position, he would have won on the spot. But he decides not to. Okay, this is actually also good. This is actually also good. Goes back to the original plan, and we're down the exchange. We're down exchange, but considering what could have been, I'm still quite happy with this, I think. All right, let's take with the rook. Could take here, could retreat, but I think the active approach is probably better. Now you should probably go here, back. This results in the loss of a pawn. King is actually quite safe on h8, it feels. And after he goes here, attacking this, attacking this. If you go here, there's mating ideas, actually. And he's also threatening just mates to begin with. He's threatening mate to begin with. So if you go here, check here, and he can take up the pawn. If you go here, he takes the pawn, but now we could re-establish ourselves for a little bit. A little bit. And or do you now? Okay, if he went for the pawn, was to do something. Okay, we can go h5. Can go, yeah, let's just go for this then. 'Cause immediately we get a new target, and then after f4, play this, perhaps. Can also solidify here, but let's just push the pawn for now. Opponent still low on time. That's what we're playing for. We'll try to get the king active. We also are up a pawn for. No, we are not up a pawn. I thought we were up a pawn. But the game is not over yet. That's why we're still continuing to play this. Let's protect the pawn. "15 seconds. Let's push." All right, let's go here. Trying to remaneuver. And now we bring in the king. The king. The king. All right. Opponent sacks a pawn. And now we have a free passer. So that doesn't feel bad. That doesn't feel bad at all. Let's push that. Pawn up the board. And the bishop now goes to b6. So our opponent is, struggling in this time trouble. Also, this is not an easy endgame to play. This is not an easy endgame to play. Let's push some further. And if he goes behind it, we just drop back a little bit. Goes there instead. Now we just back it up like this. We should have probably, no, we could have not pushed because, again, I missed the lateral movement of the rook. But now things are looking more and more clear, whereas he has to sack. Wow, he sacks. And he gives up. So we won this undeservedly, where f5, it's not a good move. Well, the engine doesn't like it. Wow. Can't believe we won that one. Yeah, d3, best move. And after knight f6, we are already considerably worse. We're worse because white can take. And after d6, intending to recapture this pawn on f5, white cannot already strike with d4. Intending to play d5 because this knight is pinned, right? And allowing d5 is just not good, even though you can play a6 and it's still not good. So you have to take. You have to take. And Engine realizes this is just really strong. Because after knight takes, you still have the same trouble. Bishop d7. But you cannot pick up the pawn. Pawn. What is this with my puberty all of a sudden? I think the line continues with either... It's something in light of this. I think castles may be too slow. Okay. But maybe we could perhaps take already. Nope, 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 nope. But this already feels quite good for me, honestly. This setup. Obviously, you take with the pawn, right? That's why it's good. But you gain the pawn. You gain the pawn. That's for sure. I don't know how this line continues, honestly. I'm thinking queen e2 or something. Queen e7 takes, takes. I don't know. You can find it out for your own. Takes? Ah, why is this good? Because now I can just take here. The knight is here. Maybe he wants to go to d3. Maybe he wants to go to d3. So if we go there immediately, is that the way? Takes, takes. Queen e7. Queen e2. Again, this is the line. I'm not sure about the continuation, but that's the reason why it's bad what I played. But after, you know, castling, bishop c5. Again, this is probably still really good. Well, it's actually 1 point something for white. And I have no clue why. But yeah, it's not obvious how he should have continued. And after castles, bishop e5, I think king h8 is the only move. I think any other move, like a passive move like this, would have resulted in, well, actually, well, this would be really bad. And, a passive move like this would result in pretty much the same, well, actually, even this. So I think king h8, only move. And after takes, knight here. I had some trouble. But I think knight e5 is a no-brainer. Bishop went back. And well, the engine says that we've equalized, but I'm not really sure how to continue this line. And I was considering just c6. Bishop here. And yeah, I don't know how to continue here because I don't know how to stop this. But maybe we just don't. Maybe we don't, but now he can just jump in there. Maybe even with the other knights, because that looks a lot better. Takes, 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 takes. And actually, I misevaluated this position. And yeah, it's not as clear as day, actually. So, this happens. This happens, where my knight just absolutely gets stuck. And he actually played the best line. Where I thought, if he plays this, I would be stuck here forever. Like, I would have to take a pawn, and then, play this position. Down material. But he decides to take and give this check, which is correct, apparently. But queen e7, apparently not the way to go. Because we go back. And after the trade happens, we get into an endgame that's winning for him. And it's still winning for him. But this requires a lot of patience, a lot of time to convert. And he already plays a mistake here, where I can push the pawn, and we have a passer, which is essentially the whole reason why you lost. If you played something like Rook F8, you still go forward, right? But this is already a lot harder to play. Yeah, we have kind of established some sort of fortress. Maybe H4 is the way to go, because this will be your passer, I think, at some point. And the rooks have a hard time mobilizing here. So maybe here you go rook e1. Again, I forget saying. Okay, we go anywhere except rook d1. And yeah, we just slowly put pressure somewhere. Again, not good. Can just push. Yeah. So yeah, maybe rook here. It's very hard for white to play this out, honestly. I have to figure this out for myself, but how does white win here? G3? By just doing nothing? Yeah, you stop this. You stop this. You stop this. That makes sense. And after the king activates itself more, I think your idea is to play something like rook here, here, and I'm putting pressure on this one. Again, black doesn't have much to do. Again, you cannot play this because of the bishop. It's very hard, actually, very hard. So what do you want to do then? Well, maybe we would just put the other rook here. We don't have to do anything. We stopped everything for now. Yes, it's not easy to get out of this, but with good patience maybe. And we have to improve the king first. Again, black doesn't have much to do. King here. And even if you attack this pawn, if you attack this pawn, I think we just defend it to keep the advantage. And again, where is the plan of black? There's no plan of black. This rook is stuck here forever. How do you solve this though? So let's say black goes back. King here. I have no clue what black could do here. Here, here. So we're slowly and surely making sure that black doesn't get the squares he wants. So yeah, I'm doing everything here without an engine and noticing that it's very hard to play. So we just keep folding around. And I think like even grandmasters would have trouble capitalizing on this advantage. And I think this, you want to make a passer out of that one. You want to make a passer out of that one. And you want to attack this one. And you want to go here. You want a lot of all sort of thing. I think you can just break it open here. Takes. And the more open the position, the more your advantage breaks out. And now things break loose. I think things get pretty clear from here on out. Where these are big weaknesses you can just target. Bye. See you guys later.